Hi, Scotty Kilmer here. Do your radius arm bushings need to be replaced?
Well, stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to replace them.
First, what you need to do is get the tire off. Okay, no, I'm not doing the Scotty Kilmer. It's actually starting to piss me off. So, this process really isn't all that bad, unless you've never done it before and you've never had the truck apart, and that's when things get kind of annoying. I see my spring is not quite sitting on the thing all the way. I'll readjust that. I'm going to take the spring out anyway, so I'm going to make sure that guy sits on there all the way. Really what we need to do is we need to undo shoot, with the way this is, we might even be able to leave this up here, undo this guy here and let him drop down. But you also want to have your sway bar disconnected, which as you can see it's kind of interfering with our cups down here. That's okay. I'll get the jack under here and undo it. But 1 1/8 nut right here, this has been lubed up several times and it's been undone, so it comes out pretty good. So we're gonna undo that, and then I'm gonna drop the accidental, leave the spring in there. Actually, scratch that. We're gonna take the whole spring out because you need to be able to move this axle up and move them around. It's an 18mm and a pair of vice grips, so you can get the nut done on the axle here. This is how it works on my truck, because I don't torque things down like I should. You know, 18mm both sides of the shock bolt, get that undone. 18mm bolt, both sides sway bar bushing, or sway bar link, you can get that undone. Radius arm bushing, 1 1/8 nut. And then you want to undo your, not this, but your bolt that holds your slider pin on. You want to get that out, pull your brake caliper off, set him up on top of the spring perch, and that's a 14mm bolt as well. So once you undo all that, you can just wiggle this baby out. Actually, it's going to be more of drop that end and this way. That end won't be an issue dropping down because all your weight's right here, so it's all, everything is going to pivot right around here. So that'll float around up there, so you don't have to worry about that. You'll have to excuse the yard work going over there, but 1 1/8. Let's undo this. Again, the plastic part you will not need. I mentioned this in a video yesterday, but I'll just say it. This one too, you don't need this when you put those on. You just need the 2 bushings and the washers, and I'm putting new washers on just for the hell of it. You see these? These are getting old. Real old. Now what's nice about having hydraulic shock absorbers is that you can push them up like I have here. These are real soft, so they push up pretty easy. So, well, I got this jacked up a little bit, so it should be able to, that's 13mm up here. It would have been better for me to do this when I put the springs in, but I wanted to kind of do it separately. Okay. I removed the, well, I left the bolt in there because I have to drop this down a bit in order to free that up. Now we're not undoing the tie rod ends, we're going to leave those on there. We just need to be able to drop it down and move that out so that we can just put our new parts in, which we won't get until in about a half hour from now, so I'll have to go pick those up. So, I might have to still undo this. I need to reset the spring anyway, so I'm gonna do that here in just a second. But let's get this guy up here. This job really isn't all that hard. Once you know exactly what you need to do to get that off, it goes quick. Hammer. My Cummins oil pan just barely let that ball come out. Alright. We should be able to pull this right out. I think we'll be. Okay, there's that. Just like that. Okay. This guy come right up here. Make sure your rod's all good. This one's barely got any miles on it. Oh yeah, starting to split open. Original. Looks like it was shooting for max caster the two. Alright. I'm gonna go see if my parts are here. So here's the second set. Remember when you, as you saw, we've done the other side. And yes, I did not put the metal piece on the other side. I don't even think it's necessary. I'm gonna just not put that on there. I think it's to adjust it, but you can actually loosen it up and you can move it by hand. So I think it'll be fine. And plus their instructions are really detailed, so it's really easy to figure out how this is going. I'll show you their instructions here in a second. Okay, so here's the instructions, okay? And these are just real generic. They're not specific to these bushings. So I'm looking at these twitching, trying to figure out how this all works. So I actually had to take this apart and fit everything on there and see how it works. So this is how it puts together. Where do you see an eccentric bushing? Oh yeah, you put the spacer in here. Yeah, no. This is waste of paper. They just killed a tree for that. And I don't want to throw this away. I got my receipt in there. It's a tax write-off. The way these go on, I explained this in a video earlier, but YouTube was having a stroke with it. They thought I had copyrighted material on it, which was kind of true, but you could barely hear it. I don't know how they caught it. Of all other things they haven't caught. But whatever, I've taken that video down and I'm not even gonna bother uploading it. We're doing this one. So, the way this works is, see this guy here, this is gonna go on the back. This is gonna go in the bracket. There's a little lip. Right in here, there's a lip. Well, this is gonna be like the spacer. This is gonna go over that lip, just like the plastic spacer would. And then this guy here, he's your main part. Now when we put these in here, we're going to set it like this. So this is towards the bottom. That'll give us max caster. That's the whole idea behind why I'm putting these on. Otherwise, if I kept the stock springs and didn't do a lift, I would have just used the thermoplastic ones that I bought before I bought this. And that's where these new washers came from. So I'm using parts from the new kit. So if anybody wants those thermoplastic bushings that I have, you guys can have them for free. But I got these nice new washers, so put that on there. This bad boy here. And first of all, I don't understand the metal thing. I really don't. They don't tell you what it's for, so I ain't putting it in. Anyways, a bit of a snug fit. Oh yeah, that's a snug fit. So now the big part is we want to get that kind of level as possible. Give us the max amount of caster we can get out of this thing. So again, it's pushing the axle down. So we kind of have to juggle a little bit. You want to make sure that you get that end of the axle up into this slot here where it's going to mount into, and then you're getting that in there. So luckily you're just fighting all the weight right here in this assembly. So where I say where these kind of gloves are cut resistant, They keep my hands kinda clean, so that'll work. Yesterday I didn't do it, so you can see my hands are nasty. But anyways, we can get that in there, that up in there. We'll pretty much just reassemble this whole thing. It's pretty straightforward. It's axle, bushing, nut, bolt. This in here, put the thing in, washer, nut, and then, you know, spring, shock, sway bar, and then put the wheel back on the brake. It's simple. You can get your new parts ready here. So what I'm doing is making sure this is downward as possible, which it is. And remember, you don't need the plastic spacer. That guy goes in there like that. We got our new washer. Goes in like that. And you can pretty much tighten this guy down right now. I'm gonna run this guy until you got about 1/2 inch of threads, or until it won't turn anymore. Now, as you know, I have the Skyjacker Hydro 7000 shocks. So these are hydraulic. And these are really nice riding shocks. So even with the old factory springs, or even these new springs, which are a lot firmer, the ride is still way better. My hands are still a little gooey. But I don't like the boots that come with them. I'd rather have a metal boot, or a sleeve to go over it. And there we go, jack him up a little bit. And now we can get our bolt in. But so I got this. These shocks don't have the boots on them anymore. The rear ones do. Those have vents. These ones, they didn't put vents on it, so they're, when they would expand, they'd suck in, and it just, nothing was happy. So see, on this truck, all you really need is a pair of vice grips and an 18mm, and you can get these shocks off of here. Okay, I'll loosen that up a little bit. Hold the bolt. And then it'll hit the frame, and then you won't be able to get it off. Okay, one more. Okay, that'll be good. There, we're back together. Now it's just time to put the wheel back on. So that's it. This was actually pretty easy. You know, my first time, it took me, you know, the whole day, but I could have one of these all rebuilt in one day, or not even that, half a day, just in time for lunch. So I got that tightened down. I think the alignment tech, if needed, he can adjust those to however he wants. Right now I'm setting them just to max caster, so I'll get the wheel back on here, get the sway bar hooked back up, and then I'm gonna go for a little test drive and see how it drives. Alright, we got the same amount of caster on both sides, it looks like. We got way more. I used to be up a lot higher. I think that'll be good. I just moved the truck back a few times and settled the springs in we're sitting at the same height on both sides. The other side's gonna be a little bit lower because we got fuel on that side and a few other things, so it's gonna be just a little off. Anyway, I don't have our sway bar hooked up, so once you put that on, that'll even us out. Other than that, we're relatively the same, and everything's all good. Nothing really creaks or nothing, or binds up. So now I'm just gonna put the sway bar back on, and then we'll be done with that, and then put my rear sway bar link on. I'll show you this. This is in another video. That'll be up probably after this. But I rebuilt this guy here, so I got fresh links on both sides. Okay, so one of the things that happened when we did the lift, as you know, we lost caster and gained too much positive camber. Well, we took out all the positive camber. Actually, according to the alignment tech, I had 0 degrees caster. But now, it feels like I think I probably got about 1 or 2 degrees caster, because I noticed that when I did the lift, the steering was like, it was like that. It was just, you could just touch it and it would turn. And it felt a little squirrely on the road, not really rock solid. And I'm not sure, but I think it was starting to feel it shake a tiny bit doing 45. Now, went about 50 down the main road here, and the steering is a bit heavier, which is nice. I wanted some weight back on the steering. The other thing is, it feels very planted. It's nice and solid now driving. So, I mean, it's rock solid driving down the road. And then the new bushings back here. Oh. Well, that's not good. That's what made that popping noise. This one didn't come in. Oh, it pulled all the... Oh, I know what we need. Washers. How could I forget? Okay, anyways. Between all the bushings and everything, this thing rides pretty good now. Nice and solid. No squeaks or nothing come from under there. So we're good. Now we just need to go get our steering alignment tomorrow, and then we're good to go. So I'm going to get some washers and fix that.